Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters, and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Yes. Ooh, we got a good show for y'all today. Let me bring up my co-host in the building, the one, the only, Kerryanningram in the building. Hey, you're Merc.
Hi, how are you? Hello, everyone.
How's everything? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling well.
Good. I am blessed every day of my life. I love breasts.
See, when you go away, you're like in a Zen state, and you come back with troublemakers. Like that.
Nothing wrong with loving breasts and being blessed. That's the substance of life. That's the substance of life.
Yes.
Well, it keeps me alive. That's all I do.
What does the breasts or the milk or the bless?
Well, it's the blessing breasts.
I see it. I see how that merged together. That
when Vegas did I love breasts, I am blessed, some other guy came out with I love breasts, and I said,
really? Yo, it was a Jamaican too, not true.
Yes, another Jamaican come out with it because we love breasts. And let me say something. Because I made a post in regards to the world boss coming out of jail. Big up to Vybez Cartel coming out of jail today. Big up to Vybez Cartel. After 12 years. Yes, big up to Vybez Cartel. All things, that means things about to turn up. That's all.
Maybe maybe he's reformed. Maybe he is not about that life anymore because he's grown.
You know what happens? He's still gonna sing his love songs the way he's singing, but like Buju does. Buju does the same thing. But it's funny that this year is an 8 year, and he's a Capricorn. So it is, and now he's coming out in his 5 personal month, which is dealing with freedom. Right. He's now on the street after everything's been thrown out and everything's going out. Right. So he's now, but he's going into an 8 year cycle really towards September. So I think they better monitor his health. They got to take care of his health. Because I know being in a prison system and not getting what he wants and not getting the sustenance, I heard he had some health issues. So they better monitor his health. There's a money cycle he's going in, but it's also a health cycle. So I hope they take care of. I did share that with him. I was going to tag Spice, but I want to make sure that people, whoever's got it, because if Buju can sell out what he did in New York and all over, when he gets his visa, him gone, because I'm going to have to take care and pick me on his family. So I understand. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to, they're not going to prevent him from singing his songs. It's just that hopefully he's not going to be doing all the gangster stuff and, Spanish Town, Portmore sometimes. Isn't
that what his songs are about? Like,
no, not all of them. Not all of them is gang, but he needs to balance it out and bring more loving tunes and then conscious if he goes down that route. It's up to him. He'll do well, because we need a resurgence of reggae, because the trap music is kind of crazy. Trap reggae, I don't know what that is, but
there's something called trap reggae.
Yeah,
wow, I must be living under a rock. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's called trap dancehall, but it's just trying to follow the American thing again. we're not realizing there's a big battle against, who, what's Jamaica's contribution, what's Spanish's contribution. And I hit up Lord Jamal and said, yes, Jamaicans did go and listen to American DJs and American styles and then took it to the street to go toasting. I know that's history. I understand, you know what I'm saying? But it was Kool Herc that probably put those speakers out there and did his thing. But exactly, it is an American thing. So I don't get into those battles. And he respected me for saying that. And, I told him I might want to bring him on my show one day and talk to Lord Jamal from Brand Nubians. But I hit him up. I have his numbers. So I hit him up. I told him, yo, if you look up the history, you'll see that, a lot of you remember, Jamaicans used to like to go to America and bring back music to go and sing over and all that kind of stuff. That's what Coxsone did.
Not only America, is everywhere with teeth.
We sing and take over things. But the only thing that's the only thing that's ours, mental and definitely reggae. It's ours, definitely. But we gotta we gotta stop arguing about trivial stuff. It's not. Let them.
Isn't that the way of the world? Everything that is out there is trivial. People don't want to take the time to actually confront the serious things that are actually of value and meaning in life. They would rather focus on the distractions.
Yeah, and it's crazy, and that's what's going on. So, I think it's Tariq Nasheed who set this off. And I understand. So when you're looking for your own identity is important,
right?
Just like we as Caribbean people want to look for our own identity. That's important. That is a very important thing to do, and I bear witness to that. So I give it to him. It's theirs. I used to do hip hop. I used to mix and do all my thing, cutting up when I was younger too. Right here, I grew up here, so it is what it is. So it is this. I'm not going to doubt it. So, Edley Shine from Born Americans is arguing with, and I know Edley Shine. I used to work with him and Notch from Born Americans back in the day. I'm like, don't even get into that. You don't even have to do that. I know Kool Herc. I know his cousin. I know his family. Come on. We don't ever get into that. Just leave it alone. Low it. Because when we came over here, we tried to act American, some of us. So let's stop playing. Let's stop playing games. We was taught to get this American dream and all that. And I'm cool. Went to Canada, went to England to get this dream because we were living wherever we was living in Jamaica. But there's no place like home for certain Jamaicans. No place like home. So, it is what it is, man. But
the beautiful thing about us, I feel like wherever we go in the world, we actually don't what's the word? Assimilate. We are very Jamaican. Like my parents are clearly Jamaican. They may, do the spooky when they're around, certain types of people, but they're clearly Jamaican.
Exactly. My parents still talk. They're twang. So,
but we just have this. We have this nature about us where we carry our ancestry with us, whether we are conscious of it or not. This is the reality of who we are. And it's I think it's such a beautiful thing, because it's like, it's our DNA seeping through.
Right. That's right. And, I see Joshua back there. We're going to be bringing him up in a few seconds. Trinidad is always known for their soca and their calypso. And even one time Jamaicans used to sing calypso. So we got Lord Creator from Jamaica. We have Harry Belafonte. We had different people that used to sing this calypso music, and but we know where the mento and we know where the traditional songs, and but it's we just let people have their shine. Let them shine. I want everybody to be in peace and see our contributions to each other, because at the end of the day, it comes from the energetic soul and energy of music, which we invented anyway. Music, tones, all of that we invented. And I'm glad we have this man that we're about to bring on, because he is a spoken word artist to an utmost level. Joshua makes math accessible and easy to understand for young and old students with an approach he calls Maathematics. Ma'at is a Kemetic ancient Egyptian concept that represents order, balance, truth, justice. And Joshua takes the confusion out of what we call math today, and it's by showing how it relates to our everyday lives, not just putting it on paper, but also through music. His main lesson to all of his students is that math is relationship, and those relationships are based behind music, art, dance, agriculture, health, family, love, and everything else in existence. Understanding relationships and patterns gives us the ability to find solutions to whatever challenges we face. That's right, whatever challenges we face. And people, remember, this brother that I'm about to bring on is not only a author of various books, he's also a lecturer, a teacher. He's a spoken word artist, a award-winning spoken word artist. So I want to welcome our brother on the stage. He's been on the stage before, but this time on the Healing Vibe stage. This is the first time he's ever been on the Healing Vibe with my friend, my co-host from Toronto, the one, the only Jashua Sarah in the building. Joshua, what's up, my brother? How you doing?
Peace, fam. I'm doing very well, very well. And it's good to see you. Good to hear you.
How y'all doing, brother? This is good. Oh, we great, man. We great. I'm glad you all right. You back? You in New York now? You back in New York? You're in New York?
I just got here today, man. Yeah, I just touched down. I'm in Harlem right now.
You got that book signing coming up. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And meet Kerryann, because Kerryann is here with us. Kerryann Ingram from out of Toronto.
Nice to meet you.
You're in Toronto?
Yes.
Yes, NTO. Yeah.
Got you. I just watched a Canadian movie the other day, and I think I'll never do that again.
Oh my God, that's terrible. What movie was that?
Hope it wasn't one of those sex flicks.
That's the wrong show, King Simon. You're on the wrong show.
No, because when I used to live in Canada, those channels had all that madness going on.
Oh, I don't know nothing about it. I don't even know about them Canadian shows. No, it was called Hyperborean, and it was supposed to be like science fiction. I like science fiction stuff. I grew up on that, so it was like science fiction / mystery / horror / maybe comedy.
Right there, Joshua. Right there. That's the problem. They tried to put everything in one pot. No, you got to stay away from that.
They stirred up way too much stuff, and I was like, "What did I just do with my hour and a half of life?"
Wow.
I need a refund for this free movie, yo.
But to let you know, the majority of stuff you watch in America that are American are filmed here. Because I've been in
Canada.
Valid. I give you that. I've seen that.
Hey, my cousin has a booking agent in Canada. She was the booking agent for John Q and Snake Eyes and all those movies that are filmed there because it's cheaper. You know what I'm saying? It's cheaper. It is cheaper. So she has a whole booking agency still out there in Canada. So yeah, I got it. So how you been, brother? Everything all right?
Yeah, man. I'm full of life, man. I'm really thankful. Like, things are moving real vibrationally. You know what I mean? We stay in the waves of it all. So yeah, man, I give thanks.
First of all, you got a major event coming up at Nicholas, Brooklyn. I want to show that event, if you don't mind. Let me show that event. Let's get rid of that business real quick. Let's show that event right here, of course, on his website, joshuasarah.com. That's the book launching right there. That's the book launching. And it's going to be at Nicholas, of course, over there, 1396 Fulton Street, August the 4th. And that's from 4 to 7 p.m.?
Yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's absolutely free, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. He got his new launching of his book called Math is the First Sense, and that is the theme of our show today.
Yeah, man.
I'm happy. Go ahead, Gil.
Where have you been all my life? I sucked in school. Math I didn't understand it. My brain thinks differently. They claimed I had a learning disability, but I don't. I just think differently. And when, I discovered your things a couple years ago, I was like, oh my God, this is so creative. This makes so much sense. My brain gets it now.
Good. It's me hearing that over and over and over why I ended up writing this book that I just dropped. I heard that so many times, and people kept asking me if I have a book for adults. And I was like, no, I guess maybe I should do something. And so, I'm really glad that people say that to me so that I can actually get out here and do what my ancestors told me to do, quit playing.
No, he's I've had him open up for a few lectures when I seen his talent, not just as a spoken word, but the ability to be able to teach and articulate his technology in his own way. That was a beautiful thing. Right. And you know, even Professor Smalls, who we've had on the show before with us, Professor Smalls says he reminded him of himself because you know, Professor had all them locks back in the day and used to flow with the knowledge back in the day. So you know, and he's a student of Dr. Laila Africa too. So. True. It's you know, and you know, and you know, let's deal with that, because not only do you deal with math, but also Dr. Africa dealt with math and with his science too. What was the correlation that you found that math and also holistic health was so important to keep that connection?
Brother, it was in everything I see. You know, at this point I can't not see math. It's just like, that's why I'm like, math is in everything, math is everything. But like, even if you looking at, you go into a hospital, everything they talking to you about is numbers, right? We talk about heart rate, your eyesight, the decibels you can hear, your pH balance, everything is numbers. Blood pressure, you know, it's the volumes of things, your EKGs, everything is numbers. Everything that they measuring, literally the word measure is only talking about numbers. So they're measuring your body's numerical output, you know, in order to determine what is your well-being. And it's the only way we can quantify, the only way we can talk about it and understand each other is through numbers. You see what I'm saying? So it became very obvious, even if we're talking about dosages, you know, how much do you take of this? But then, you know, going farther back, getting away from the numbers aspect, just looking at it as ma'at, where everything is connected in some way, like we breathe in the oxygen and breathing out the carbon, and the trees are on the reverse of that with us. So this little basic concept of we have this connection to things such that, like, there's a book called Self-Healing and Therapy. Incredible little book, man. And the brother breaks down some really intelligent things about like how the trees are essentially straws that bring up the minerals from the core of the earth to suck it up so we can have access to it up here. But, you know, there's also this idea of connectivity of, like Dr. Africa taught the signature, the plant signature, like you could look at a plant and tell what it's for, right? And the idea that we already have a connection to these plants. Like if I put milk in my gas tank, my car is not going to drive because it's not built for milk, right? Right. And our bodies are the same exact way. Like it's only built for what it's built for. So if I swallow a penny, I'm not digesting a penny. It's going to go all the way through me and come out my toilet, right? But if I take these herbs and they can do something for me, it's mean I was built to have that thing done to me. You know what I mean? So it's a day and a night. It's a head and a tails. You can't have one without the other. Like the plant doesn't exist without us, and we don't exist without the plant. You know, that's this idea of ma'at, that everything is connected, everything has its place, and that's order. And order is numerical. You see what I'm saying? Like every time I turned around, I was just seeing how it's all lined up about patterns and order and balance. You know, I'm a Libra, so I'm always looking for my balance. I'm on my scale. My eye is what it's about for me. So, you know, that's why my name, the name of my whole concept is Maathematics, you know, because I really want people to take it from that aspect of.
I shout it out all the time until I tell people I get it from you, and I say Maathematics. It's Joshua that said that. And even Phil Valentine talks about it, but you're the one that really pushed that whole math and mathematics. And big up to Monique from Nicholas, Brooklyn in the building. What's up, Monique? How you doing, girl?
Yo.
She in the building. Yo, what up? What up, though? All right.
Little Nicholas, big sis. Brooklyn.
Yeah, your little big sis. Exactly. Don't let us start getting into cracking jokes on each other. Don't do it. You know how we get down. You know, go ahead, Carrie. What's it? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So when it comes to math, I find that a lot of our people struggle with really understanding or even knowing how to apply it to, as you were just breaking down, everyday life, like scales, number, weight, how much to take, you know, grams, kilograms, and things of that nature. Where did the disassociation come about? Because our people were scholars in this, the creators and inventors, and putting this all together. Where was the separation?
In my thoughtfulness, in my opinion, it's when they took the music out of the math. We learn math musically before we really learn it any other way. You know, it's rhythm. We learn rhythm and patterns. Some people can read sheet music, right? They can read the music off the paper, and some people can just hear it. Some people just play it, you know. So it's like when you learn the alphabet, they give it to you in a song, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P. Name me one math song you know.
Well, I can't name it, but I discovered a child's YouTube channel, and I'm like, oh my God, where was this when I was a child?
But you didn't grow up on it, right?
No,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't go into a class. I can go into a classroom and be like, all right, y'all, let's sing the alphabet song. And everybody knows what I mean. If I walked in and I said, let's sing the addition song, the counting song, they'd be looking at me like, what? And then I have to send them to my YouTube page like, no. I have been actually writing songs for children to learn math. I got a dope one for the multiples of threes. I'd be jamming. I'd just be sitting around singing my little 3 song, like 3, 6, 9, coming down the line. Like, that's my jam. But like, but for real, the idea of we learn math just by living, right? For a baby to stand up, like if you've ever watched a baby try to learn, first of all, how to sit up, you know, and navigate the balance between left and right, which is saying, you know, 30% muscles over here and 70% muscles over here is going to make me fall over. So I need to figure out how to get this 50-50. And then when they go to stand up, you got forward, back, left, and right. So they're really doing like this dimensional kind of math. And then to take it to where I'm going to lift up one foot, put 100% of my weight on one foot and 0 on the other, and keep doing that back and forth. That's all math. And then, you know, we grew up on stuff like double dutch and hopscotch. You know, these are math things. Playing
Basketball.
Patty cake games. Basketball, football. We played cards. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, cards is all math. Even if you're just playing Go Fish or I Declare War, you know, it's when you take, and that's what I mean by the music, the life out of it. I don't even just mean specifically melodies and harmonies, but I mean when you take the fun out of math, when you make it like 1 + 1 = 2. What does that mean? But if I'm like one, you know, 2, then all of a sudden they know doing one hand versus doing 2 hands without having to be taught. You know what I mean? Like 1 hand + 1 hand is 2 hands. We doing that. And okay, now later on, I'll give you some language to talk about that. But if you start teaching children on paper and in a classroom and they haven't played the games, you know what I mean? They haven't listened to music. They haven't made songs with their family. Then math is going to make them struggle every single time. So like with my math classes, before I even really start talking too tough about numbers and math and equations, I always play games with my students. You know, I almost always play games with my students, even if it's just for 5 minutes. I want them to play things like Mancala is a great math game because it's also a calculator and it's a binary calculator. So it's like just different ways to expose children. The greater than, less than that you get from playing spades or what's the other one? I Declare War. I call it I Declare Peace. We be having
I Declare Peace, of course. Too much more.
You know, with my children, we play I Declare Peace. But like that's greater than, less than, and equal to, right? Like that's all you're looking for. I want the greater card. You know what I mean? So this is all before I ever step foot in a classroom. I'm sitting here learning how to do math. I don't have no words of comparison and equations and equal. Didn't matter. I was doing the math and I got better and better at math because I wanted to win the game. You see what I'm saying? And the more you want to win, you got to apply better math to it. Checkers, chess, backgammon, you know, tonk, all of these things. Like if you're playing tonk, now we're doing consecutive numbers, you know what I mean? Or we're doing 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind. Like you're doing so much math just playing a game. And this is what people overlook. They're like, where do I start my children with math? Play with them. Go play. Go play with them. Stop trying to be so European with your approach, you know, because that factory model, that Rockefeller Ford model of education, that ain't for us. That's what I mean about they took the music out and made it factory cookie cutter. Bow, bow. Everybody, thou shalt know this term and you should do it like this. You got to pass this test. Oh my God. You start doing it like that, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
That's how I felt about the times tables. The times tables was, oh my goodness, my kryptonite. I loathe them. But now I understand them.
You got it now. I was gonna send you some of my songs, like, yo, you need these multiplication songs. Jamming. And it works too. Like when I give this specific song, because the 3s are pretty hard. 3s and 7s are hard for people to get sometimes. Like there's tricks for all the other ones, like 2s, 4s, 5s, lots of tricks, 9s, 10s, 11s, lots of tricks to be able to figure out the basics. But when it gets to 3 and 7, it's just you got to memorize that joint. So Put it in a song.
Put it in a song. That's how we learn. Our family, those that are just tuning in, we have our special guest, Jashua Sarah, author, teacher, spoken word extraordinaire, and much more. Make sure you go to his website, JashuaSarah.com. Also hit him up at IG at earthiopia. Of course, his Twitter and Facebook has Earthiopia. Cash App is Earthiopia. His PayPal is Earthiopia. So get on that Earthiopia business and stay focused. Big up to Monique and Kafunya in the building. Big up to those two in the building right now. Kafunya Star Belly, that it be Linwood. Remember, he got a free event. His Math is the First Sense coming up at Nicholas Brooklyn. Make sure you show them love. Make sure you go to Nicholas Brooklyn and really go and check out what's going on over there. It's a book launching of his new book. And, this is your fourth book, correct? This is your fourth or fifth book now, right?
This is the fourth one in this series.
Right?
Because I've also done the 2 poetry books.
Right.
So this is actually my
the 2 poetry book. Sixth book. It's actually a 6th book. That's right.
Yeah.
And and a lot of people don't know you also teach drum classes, the percussion, and do all of that. You know what I'm saying?
I do things.
And yeah, you do exactly. You do things, and that comes from a cultured mom, of course. A mom and dad more than likely brought that culture. Now, explain to some of the people out there that may have, the parents that might have a little problem with the math, but they want their children to get more into it. Like you said, they should actually work with them and enjoy it with them. So what about some of these parents that are too busy, they can't do it, what you suggest they should do with their parents? Because they get, our parents right now, they work in 2 and 3 jobs and all kinds of stuff. What you suggest they should do? What's going on? Please.
They should be parents. They should be parents. I mean, end of the day, I get, I feel like there's a difference between a provider and a parent. Like the government can provide for you, but they'll never parent you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get a government check, you can get a caretaker, somebody to put a roof over your house, but a parent is the one that's sitting there providing you with culture, right? That's a parent's job, is to give you their culture, is to pass the culture down, to give you the stored up knowledge that your ancestors have developed over generations on generations, to pass the manual down. Like it's already in the DNA, but I don't know what's in there. You know what I mean? Somebody got to come and tell me what's in there and how to activate it. That's the parent's job, in my opinion, in my humble parental opinion. You know what I mean? Because I am a parent, and I do think it's highly important to spend that time. Like if you can make time for the job, which will drop you at the, on a dime, but your children are your real investment. I've always said, I don't care if people think I'm a good parent. I care if my children think I'm a good parent, because they're the only ones who know for real. They're the only ones who have been my children the whole time and have seen me in that space the whole time. So they're the final judge on if I'm a good parent or not. I don't get to tell them I'm a good parent. You know what I mean? Like I did this and that for you. I sacrificed. If they don't measure me as a good parent, then I wasn't a good parent for them. You know what I mean? So I think it's a relationship. And I don't think a lot of people value the children's role and the children's authority in the relationship, because they have a certain authority. Of course, they're not running the house, but they have the authority to say whether you are living up to the contract that y'all made together in the sight of God. You know what I mean? To come together and do this work together. So I do think it's important, even if you are really stressed and tired and don't have a lot of time, you got to figure out how to incorporate it. You know what I mean? Like you can cook with them, and there's math. We got to talk about recipes, which require measurements and proportions. I already said, play the games with them. Get into music, because music takes a lot of music is the sound of math. I can't even say music has math. Music is the sound of math. It's all fractions and ratios and proportions. It's literally math. In fact, Western modern music start essentially by Pythagoras, and they know, like the Pythagorean theorem guy, you got to learn his theorem in geometry. He started the music. You see what I'm saying? Because he was just playing with the fractions and the relationships between the fractions. And it's really about relationships. So if you want your children to be good at math, you have to have a good relationship, because math is the study of relationships, period. That's why we be so confused, because they never say that in a math class. It's the study of relationships. So like, me and you, King Simon, we got a relationship.
Yes, sir.
It's 1 and 1, right? But let's say it's 1 times 1. So that would be 1. But like you and your son have a relationship, that's 1 plus 1. You and Your best friend got a relationship. That's 1 divided by 1. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's different relationships. We still gonna be one, you know. And then if we bring another person into our conversation, like Kerry right here, now we got different math that we're doing, and it's a relationship, right? So literally everything that you're doing, your relationship to food, your relationship to sleep, your relationship to sunshine, and you know what I mean? Like it's all about relationships, and we measure all of that. And if you're measuring it, then that's math. And if you're not getting enough, that's a mathematical term. You know what I mean? If you're getting too much, that's a mathematical term. So every time we start talking about something, we're talking math and we just don't see it. So all you really got to do as a parent is just kind of tap in. If you don't have a lot of time, when you're driving, there's miles per hour, and that's a ratio. You could talk about that. You see what I'm saying? Like you could turn any moment, you could look around and find some math. Like, all right, let's count. Even if it's just pattern recognition, like, all right, let's see how many squares we can, all right, how many triangles, how many circles, things like that. Show me a pattern in this room. Oh, look at the dresser. The drawers are all the same. That's a pattern. Oh, look at the floor. It's a tile. Oh, look at the wallpaper. Look at the sheets. Look at the clothes, the little flower shirt. You see what I'm saying? So you're just looking for math everywhere. It is all math. But I think games, music are the 2 easiest ways to introduce children with like little to no time. You can make up games in the car if you're driving together, or if you're on the train together. You can, like, I used to play this binary finger counting game, right? You can count up to 31 on one hand in binary. If you use 2 hands, it's up to 1023. So if you count in binary, instead of just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I ain't gonna keep going, but like basically each one is like it doubles. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 4, that's 8, and that's 16. So if I put up 16 and 1, that's 17. If I put up 16 and 2, that's 18. If I put up 16 and 4, that's 20. If I put up 16 and 8, it's 24. So it's really just about an addition game. And so I used to sit there with my children, and it would be a race to see who I would say a number, and they had to figure out, you know, what to put up to do that number, right? So if I'm like, show me the number 5, they have to be like, show me number 4. my oldest son didn't like doing it. He would be the main one, like, I don't want to do a bad thing, Baba. And I'm like, yo, who told you it's bad? Like, it's 4. There's nothing else. That's just 4. My house,
that's funny.
So like, that's something you could do. Teach them binary counting on their fingers, and then do it on the train, on your way to work, on the way to the babysitter, on the way to school. Just like, all right, show me the number for 19. And they got to sit there, and it's an addition game. You know, it's like 16 plus 3.
And now, Joshua, have you noticed that they do that in India and China? They learn those binary codes. I seen an Indian class. They were doing all this. They was doing all this, and they was just getting all kinds of numbers.
They got some different stuff that I haven't figured out.
It's some
there's a hand kind of math I saw
a
couple weeks ago. I was like, what are they doing? I had no clue. But yes, the Indians got like ancient math going on over there. They do a lot of stuff based on the number 9. And that's really what started fascinating me about their math. And they've got a whole different way of approaching math than we have. And it's really brilliant in order to do mental math, in order to be able to not rely on devices, but just be able to use patterns and techniques in order to just be like, I can run that. The Indians got some great math. I would definitely suggest, you know, anybody who's trying to get their math up, go YouTube that up. Indian math, Jain math is the thing you can look up.
Jain.
Yeah, I don't know if that. I think it's Jain.
Jain. Okay.
Yeah. Look that up.
You know, and I found that so interesting, because in order for our people to be able to build the great edifices of our time around the world, we had to know math.
Absolutely.
And I'm not gonna give it to aliens, because the aliens are probably our ancestors, which
I'm saying we the aliens.
We are the aliens that advanced and left and came and coming back to say, oh, y'all bugging or what y'all doing? you know. So I understand all of the hoopla with it, but to give our technology to somewhere outside of us, I think that was a European thing. They started that to push that away from the original people building that. And so what do you feel from your perspective of doing mathematics? how would you feel that if you took this science to like NASA, how would they advance even more with this type of way of you teaching mathematics?
That's an interesting question, brother.
I'm just
because the way my brain operates, I'm like, it would probably break their whole thing. Probably make them have to start over from the beginning. The reason I started writing these books is because we're being taught math in this very linear way. And we don't operate like that. That's taking the music out. Like, we're this type of people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And so I started creating math concepts or math books. I didn't create no concepts, but I started putting books together for people to be able to grasp the concepts in this kind of way, you know, this circular way, this rhythmic way. So, I mean, you know, I feel like Europeans use math in a weaponized way. You know, everything they get a hold of, they tend to weaponize things a lot.
Yes.
Especially if we talk about governmental agencies, they tend to weaponize. So I don't know, brother. That scares me to even think about them tapping into the stuff. Like, I don't really like when they get a hold of our stuff.
But I'm telling you, as long as you printing your books, they getting a hold of it. They gonna order.
No doubt.
They gonna order. They gonna definitely do what they do. Because one thing I've learned, and I'm gonna pass it on to you next, Kerry. And one thing I've learned is after I study all of our ancient sciences, our divine nation sciences, that they study all of that because they want to stay in power. They have to, because those were superpowers of that time.
Exactly. So
just like you remember in Haiti when they went to study the rainbow and the serpent and the rainbow. That's what that was all about, studying the magic. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Studying about. They checking you out. They checking everybody else that's doing astrology. They checking me out. I know what they're doing. I see it.
I just, you know, honestly, I feel like they already have it because, you know, I'm not talking about nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like math ain't new. This is the oldest thing in existence. So they've already studied our temples. They've already studied our cultures and our history.
Still studying.
I'm just bringing it to a level where my people can get on our NASA level, right? Because
I
remember this time where it hit me that I was like, they have built the nuclear bomb based on our technology and their fear. And I thought, what could we build on the level of a nuclear bomb based on our technology and our love? Right. So like, how can I hug somebody and the whole city feels love from it? Like a nuclear hug. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I'm really not worried about them getting it because they've been had access to it. They've been keeping us.
They don't know how to use it.
They don't know how to use it. We got the keys to unlock it. Like, they don't understand that love is actually a part of the recipe. It's a part of the ingredients to get to the highest heights. They keep trying to use explosion for everything. You know, they blow up nuclear. They blow up like the nucleus of an atom and make a bomb. They blow up a nuclear family and make a community bomb. You know what I mean? Like, all they know how to do is explode things. That's their technology, and it's based on fear and fire. And we're such a loving, watery people. I was like, we need math in a loving waterway so we can start to advance our technologies to get on that level, to where you know, we don't have no discussion about NASA. They really trying to catch up to us again.
Exactly.
That's true. That is true.
Going off of that, what would that recipe look like? If we wanted to start it tomorrow, we're ready. Let's do this. It's time. The world is calling for us to come together and rebuild in that heart-centered way. What does that look like?
That's a great question.
Good, Chris.
Because the root of it, like, relationship is the ultimate technology for love, right? So thinking about the nature of relationships and prioritizing relationships above all else, and really understanding what that means. Like I was saying earlier, like our relationship to various things, our relationship to the sun, our relationship to trees and plants and the food we eat, our relationship to each other, our relationship to the body that we navigate around in. Just getting to that place where we make a distinction between myself and my body. Like, I am not my body. I'm just riding around in this joint. You know what I mean? I just be whipping it like in. So like the relationship I even have with my own vehicle, it looks like trusting love again. And it's way easier said than done. I think it's a simple thing, but you know, the traumas that we have make it really hard and scary. And who wants to be the first person to take that kind of step in something that seems like it can have such catastrophic fallout if it doesn't work right? And so we kind of stay in this fearful place of, if it doesn't work right, I'm going to be devastated. I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be traumatized. I'm going to have to eat a whole tub of ice cream with some whipped cream in order to feel better. You know what I mean? Like, we get into this kind of narrative of, if I love my hardest and it don't work, devastation, instead of if I don't love my hardest, it'll never work. First of all, if I don't love my hardest, then like, what are we even trying for, right? Like, if I get with somebody and we're trying to love on each other, but I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna work, so I ain't gonna come out with all the love right away. I'm gonna save it for later. I'm gonna make sure they worthy of my love, right? Like, they gotta earn my love. We do a lot of gatekeeping for our love, right? So if you showing up like that, that means that you're not giving your best. How can they show up for you if you're not showing up for them, right? If we both playing this game of, I'm not gonna love on you until you loving on me, and we both playing that same game, like, then that means we never gonna get to love on each other. Right. And so we keep getting in and out of these relationships where we're not actually getting to love, and the love is more for you than for them, right? Like, let's say you're good in the kitchen. When you're cooking food, yeah, they're gonna eat too, but ultimately you learn to cook for yourself. You see what I'm saying? So I think of love and relationships the same way. Like, you want to make the best recipe possible. You want to make the best food possible and bless yourself with it, and they will benefit from it too. So I think people overlook that real simple idea of loving without the fear of it, because we think that's naive and that's green and that's stupid and you'll get hurt, especially here in New York, where they rough on you. They rough around the edges around here. They rough.
Boy, they test you, New York. They test you.
They will test you. But like, you know, I've heard a lot of conversation about why people won't love all the way. And that's the biggest problem. Like, that, for me, when we talk about getting free, it means to me getting back to what our ancestors were living like, right?
Yes.
Not about getting into the seats of our oppressors or putting on their clothes or, you know, getting access to their tables. I don't want it, right? What freedom is getting back or getting forward, getting Sankofa, you know what I mean, into who we are, right?
Yes.
And so when I look at our culture, we were a very loving people, which is probably what got us into the, you know, I was just reading 2000 Seasons. One of my favorite books is by Brother Ayikwe Arma. And I was reading it on the train today, and he talks about how a river, a spring going into the desert is destined for death. You know what I mean? Because the desert will just keep taking and taking it. It knows nothing of giving. And the spring knows of giving and taking. But I feel like we're that spring that is giving so much, and now we got just a little trickle left. So now we only got enough to give it to the job, to give it to the government, and we don't have enough for our children. We don't have enough for our loved ones. So it's like, you narcissistic, so I ain't even mess with you. But your boss narcissistic, you ain't quit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you still give him respect and talk right to him or her every day. So it's like, you know, I feel like the only way that we can get into our superpowers is through love. And I mean that, you know, beyond the Disney kind of stuff, the romance novels, smash all that. I'm talking about, like, do you love your food? Do you love your body and what you're putting into your body? You know what I mean? Like, do you talk to the trees? Do you talk to the plants? Like, do you actually have love in your heart and appreciation? Like, you see that sunrise and it's like, I'm not just happy for another day. Like, I'm happy that this world, this universe is like, it's immaculate. It's so perfectly put together. The math of this universe is so perfectly put together. You know, it's a divine mathematician out here doing it all. So like tapping into that, you know, tapping into that, because our superpowers are always spiritual. If we move on spiritual technology, we're undefeatable, period.
That part.
That's
part.
And our spiritual technology is powered by love, you know, powered by sunshine and love.
And you know what's so funny? Again, family, we got the one, the only Jashua Sarah in the building. Just want to make sure we give him a round of applause for all the great work he's doing. You know, he has other books, and I want to show his other children's book, which are fantastic book. I have all of them, actually. It's just that my children have them in the archives, and you know, they're not here with me, but I made sure they left them with them. Nice. And you know, one he has I am Maathematics shapes. He has I am Maathematics numbers. I am Maathematics addition. And you know, he got the new one coming out. So we got to make sure we support what the brother is doing. Of course, that's the front page right there of his website. I'm just showing, but that's the book launch that he has in Brooklyn, New York on August 4th, which happens to be Paul Mooney's birthday and Barack Obama's birthday.
Okay.
from 4 to 7 p.m. over there at 1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn, New York, right up the block. And it's absolutely free. So bring your children, bring you. Are you doing a PowerPoint that day, brother? You doing a PowerPoint that day or what?
Probably not. I am going to talk about some things, but I'm not going to do a Powerpoint. I'm going to keep it simple.
Right.
It's really, see what it says. It's a party, bro. You don't pull no PowerPoint out at a party.
PowerPoint party.
I'm not about to be Professor Joshua at the party. This is why I don't get invited to the parties. They always think I'm a PowerPoint there. No. I'm gonna demonstrate a couple things. I'm gonna keep it simple because the whole point of this book is math is simple, and I want it to be easy and accessible. Like, it's only $5 for the ebook. It's $10 for the printed book. I wanted to make it mad affordable. It's about it's not even 70 pages. It's like 69 pages minus like the front 2 pages and the table of contents. Like, it's about 65 pages, and it's got a lot of illustrations in it. So it ain't even like it's all text in them. I made it as simple and easy as possible to digest. And that's how this party is going to be. Like, math is going to be sexy out here.
And people need to get the book for at least your nieces, your nephew, your grandchildren, all of that, because I'm going to order mine, of course. And I know, and I want to thank
for the adults.
Oh, that's for the adults? Oh, that's for the adults?
Yeah.
We need it.
Okay.
So great gift. Birthday, Christmas. We don't do Christmas, but if you do Christmas, great gift.
It's great for Kwanzaa. It's great for
help those crazy ass adults that still think they can't learn past a certain age.
That part.
I was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He said the brain only operates in 10% was based off of a lecture, and everybody carried it on. It was not the truth. It was not the actual fact. So we got to be very careful what they're putting out there about our brain only operates on 10%. It's a lot of crap. Go ahead, brother. You want to say something? Go ahead.
How long we got? We're going to about 9.
We're going, 9:30, whatever you want.
Because I want to make sure we tap into, like, why is this book even called Math is the First Sense,
Yes.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, I do hear it. What's going on back there?
It's a cricket. That was so cool. Sorry.
Oh, I'm hearing. I thought, the cricket making that kind of music. I'm hearing music.
That might be me. I'm in Harlem. You never know.
Harlem doing their thing in Harlem. Oh, yeah. You go ahead, talk about the book. Why is the book called Math is the First?
So, we got stuff like intuition, deja vu, and dreams, and we call that the sixth sense, right? And I think about that. And all of those things, I'm really good with telepathy. Like, I really be locked in with people. I really be hearing people's thoughts. I can't flip it on like a switch, but I really be doing that, right? Like, I really be tapped into people, especially if I'm close to them. I can hear them.
Makes sense. You're number 29. You should be able to do that.
This is what I do. And so, I started thinking about that a lot, and I realized all of those things are vibrational type technologies, right? That's our sixth sense is vibration. That's what I started thinking about. Like, okay, like this whole idea of we got a sixth sense. And then once I started thinking like that, I was like, you know what? Actually, our sixth sense is math. It's our ability to perceive mathematics. Like, if somebody walks in the room and their vibe is off, their vibration is off, we feel that. We have a sense that feels that, right? We literally can feel somebody's vibe is off, or somebody's vibe is great. Like, somebody walks in and they just change the whole room, and you just can't stop looking at them, even if you're sneaking, like trying to peek at them, but you feel it. Like, and that's a thing that, what is that? Which one of the 5 senses is that? You know what I mean? It's not, right? So I started being like, okay, math is actually our sixth sense. Like, how can we dance? How can we hear music and land on the beat every time? What gives us the capacity to feel that in music and be able to respond to that, right? What gives us the capacity to have empathy, to feel somebody else's pain? You know what I mean? Like, I started thinking about these things like, hey, we got this vibrational sensitivity that we have. And I was like, and that's our sixth sense. Cool. And then it hit me one day, like, wait a minute, wait. If math is this other sense, the first thing we do before we have a brain to even digest the 5 senses, the first thing we do when our mother and father makes us is multiply and then divide. In order to be a cell, you have to multiply and divide and multiply and divide and multiply and divide. And then not only that, it's cyclical. Like, every single human being goes through the same amount of divisions. And then after that, it goes blah, 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 blah. But before that, it does sacred geometry. It starts off with a dot, then it makes a line, which is 2 points. Then it makes it's a pyramid shape. but not a 4-sided pyramid. It's like a 3-sided pyramid. All sides are a pyramid, right? That's how the cells line up together. They don't line up like a Punnett square where it's like 2 up here and 2 down here to make a square. They line up in a pyramid shape. And then when they go from the 4 to the 8, now you've got a star tetrahedron where it's like 1 is pointing down and 1 is pointing up. We're doing sacred geometry in the womb, first of all. We're doing the doubling sequence that I was just talking about on my hand, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. And that's where the binary comes from. So we start doing binary right out the gate. We're doing multiplication. We're doing division. Like we're doing math. To even get there, your parents had to do the little, it takes 2 to make a thing go right vibration dance. And then we subtract from the father and add that to the mother. You know what I mean? And then those 2 things unite. We add those 2 things together. Like
create a new element, right?
Math is the first thing that we do upon entering into the universe as one singular cell. The first act that we do is multiply to divide. So the first sense, the first thing we're able to do is math before we have any fingers, toes, eyes, nose, mouth, teeth, brain even. We don't even have a brain and we doing math. That's how you know it transcends thought and it's built into us. Math is the whole universe. Mathematics. You see what I'm saying? So once I started looking at it like that, then I was like, people who say they're not good at math must be dead. Because can you see? Can you hear? That's math. Can you stand up? Can you walk? Can you clap your hands? It's like watch babies when they try to learn to clap. They be missing because they don't have the math down yet. You got to learn. Watch a baby trying to eat. They be all on the face with it. You know what I mean? Because that's math. You got to be able to control.
They doing all of this.
Right. Exactly. Parents mad because they over there on the high chair knocking stuff off, but they ain't trying to knock it off. They trying to grab something. They don't have the math. So you got to actually learn the math. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's built into us. Like, at the end of the day, we come out making sounds, you know, like sound vibration. All of these things we can do just out the gate before anybody teaches us any words for it. We're already doing it. That's math. And so math is actually the first thing. It's the first sense. And once we start thinking about it like that, it gets a lot easier to identify it around you for parents to be able to talk to their children about it, to help them out with it. It will stop being scared of it in school. It'll just be like it's normal because all the higher mathematics are just simple mathematics built on top of each other, right? It's like a ladder. And if you missed a rung or 2, it's hard to jump on a ladder from here up to here if you're missing a couple rungs. That's why people get stuck because math just builds on top of each other. It's like multiplication is just addition, right? But it's a special case of addition. It's adding the same number to itself that many times. So it's like 3 times 2 is saying 3 plus 3. And 3 times 3 is 3 plus 3 plus 3. So it's multiplication is just addition. And that means exponents are just addition because exponents is multiplication. So when you start looking at it, the only 2 things you can do is add and subtract. It's yin and yang, it's male and female, it's up and down, it's a star and a set. That's all you got in this whole universe is in and out. It's the duality. And everything is built on that reflection between light and dark. You know, that's really the whole game. If you can understand math like that, you so far ahead, even up into calculus. All you're still doing is adding and subtracting. You know what I mean? Like it's real basic. So once you start locking in that it's like, okay, if you start with a seed does not look like a tree, but that whole tree was inside of the seed. It builds in stages. And if you can follow the progression of the tree, you can easily see, oh yeah, I see how that seed became the tree. But if you plant a seed, come back in 50 years, and then there's a tree where you left the seed and you've never seen that before. You're like, what happened to my seed? And what is this crazy thing? You know what I mean? Like you lost now. Like, I don't know how this happened. So it's really simple. Math is really simple when you get it built up like that in a simple way and showing the patterns and showing the connections and the relationships. Math becomes fun at that point because then it's like, then you get to play with it. Then you're hearing music and you playing music and you know the best musicians know math. Like when you're playing sports, to shoot a free throw and hit it every single time, that's a mastery of math, like the trajectory, you know what I mean? The physics of that, to be able to do that, the muscle memory, you've taught your muscles the exact amount of push and pull to do every single time. Like that's super math that we be doing, to jump over people the way they be doing. It's crazy how good we are at math and sit back and be like, oh, I'm not good at math. I hate it. Like, all you do is math.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's all we do is math. Everything we do. I mean, look at John Coltrane's math from back in the day. You remember John Coltrane's math from back in the day?
Man, yeah. Like jazz is an amazing way to study math. Jazz is
I'm
really
actually trying to find it. I just had it on my page here. I was trying to find John Coltrane's math, and yo, he did something phenomenal the way he did it. I was like, what the heck?
How is math
there
and
it
jazz?
There it is.
You said how is math and jazz?
Right. Like how can you explain
there it is.
or break it down?
This
there it is. There it is.
In a simple way, the way to understand it. Do you know anything about music? Do you know like any instruments or anything like that? Like the what instruments do you know?
Guitar, I know the piano.
Okay.
Clarinet, flute, drum.
So in order to make a scale, each scale is a pattern, right? So it'll be like whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, right? And that we'll call that the major scale. But then if you do different combination, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, you know what I mean? Like every scale is built on a pattern of whole steps and half steps. And if you have that pattern, you can start it on any key. You can start it on A and it's A major. You start it on C and it's C major. You start it on B, it's B major. So that's right there telling us there's a pattern of relationships. Because then if I take these notes and play them together, they sound good. And if I do like this one, that one, and that one, now I've played a chord and the relationship between them is like, I like that. And if I played some different ones, the relationship, I don't like that. You see what I'm saying? So we're just talking about relationships. And again, all math is a study of relationship. So right. if you look at a grand piano and it's got that shape to the back of it, that's because inside of a piano is strings, right? And so the strings, you push the key and it's a little hammer that hits the strings. Same with a guitar, it's strings. Now the idea on a guitar is the same as the idea in a piano, is that a short string versus a long string. So we're talking about measurements and its relationships. So 1 to 1/2 is the octave. So if I take a string and I pluck it and go, and then I push right in the middle of it and hit either side of it, it's the same note, just in a higher octave. Or if I take a string and I can double it, that's a 1 to 2 ratio, a half ratio. That's the octave. So we've got 3/5, we've got all these different fractions, which is saying, here's my original note. How short is this note in relation to that? That's what tells us where the harmonies are, where the disharmonies are, the relationships. So you start on a note, and if you take half of it, that's your octave. And everything in between that is a mathematical fraction. It's a relationship, what we call ratios or proportions. So when you start talking about jazz, it was a mastery of relationships. It was literally like a mastery of relationship, of knowing how to just feel the relationships and combine these new relationship experiences in ways. Like when you listen to Miles Davis and like when people, what's that, In a Sentimental Mood, we got some masters on that track together. Duke and Miles and Coltrane. I think Elvin Jones was on that joint. Like you got some real masters. That's why I don't care if you don't like another jazz song. You played that one song, you start just melting like, oh my God, like this is what music is. Man, exactly. I mean, so like think about going from, so it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? But then a jazz person be like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. You know what I mean? Like they start stretching it out and they still gonna be hitting the same. Right. So they start stretching. It's not just like this. Not right. It's
like, with our people, without even understanding the mathematical equations to come up with these structures, you know, these tonalities, these note separation, the expanding and, you know, shortening. It's just in us.
It's just in us.
So
it's like a beehive coming out of a bee. They don't go to school for that.
Exactly. And I think that is the disconnect. I don't know if you would agree. When we go into the structure, the Rockefeller, you know, educational system, it's very mechanical. So we're not able to tap into the rhythm, the flow of what is innately within us. So then we can't really express ourselves properly. And so how do you get beyond that and tap back into our truth?
You ever seen The Spook Who Sat by the Door or read the book?
Woo, you know, I thought you seen it. You
amazing.
Seen it?
It's amazing.
Man.
But I think The Spook Who Sat by the Door.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. It's a great movie. It's like a 1970s kind of movie, old school.
Yeah.
Kind of that blaxploitation feel. But
yeah,
you know, in a nutshell, like I read this book in 9th grade. And
I spoke to the author too, man. Good guy. Before
Sam Greenlee, right?
Yeah, Sam Greenlee. I spoke to him. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the basic concept, it was the first black man in the FBI, and he got in by playing the role of like, yes, a boss, and keeping his head down. And I sure appreciate this job in the basement, making copies for all you brilliant people upstairs. I just want to do my best. I just want to make you proud. And then he took that, everything he learned in the CIA, and went back to Chicago and trained the gangs to be a military revolutionary army. You know what I mean? So Paul Laurence Dunbar, I'm from Dayton, Ohio, so I got to shout out somebody from Dayton in every interview. Paul Laurence Dunbar is a poet.
Big up to Dayton.
Dayton.
I used to live in Ohio, so I like Ohio.
It's a vibe. He said, you know, we wear the masks, right? They grins and lies. And if you can think about that, like, you know, we call it code switching nowadays, right? Like we go into spaces and we know we have to show up differently from how we naturally feel. And so I think if we can take that a little bit more seriously, like my brother in Spook Who Sat by the Door, and go in, like train our children to go in to bring the stuff back the same way they come into our communities and steal our hip hop and then take it back home to their communities and make $1 million companies, $1 billion companies off of it. They come and hang out with us all the time. They get invited to the cookouts and all that kind of foolishness, right? And they come and they get the recipes and they go home and make $1 million company out of our grandma's barbecue sauce. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So if we could have that same mindfulness, like you forcing us to go into the space. And so I think we'd be resentful, and our resentment gets in our way of doing good work for ourselves. Right. Instead of being like, yo, I'm here, so let me make the most out of it. Like, man, I hate this. I'm so mad I'm here. So I'm gonna be lazy and I ain't gonna try to, you know, and if somebody's in there kicking ass, we call them a sellout, and we say they're a house nigga, and we insult people that's working hard and getting ahead. And then by the time they get the goods, they don't like us because we call them all kind of names. So then they gotta go be
don't help us.
We keep kicking out all of our people that want to work hard and get ahead. We keep treating them like they're doing something wrong. You see what I'm saying? Instead of embracing them and making sure that they got a place always, like, yo, we appreciate you went in and put in that hard work. We know it's not easy. We know you got to bend yourself out of shape and put on this facade in order to show up in that space. Like, so whenever you come home, you're getting 2 portions. You know what I mean? You invited to the cookout, but don't bring none of your people. It's like this sacred space, but come home and tell us what you learned so we can all grow. Because we put our resources together to get you into college. You the first one, so that you can come back and bless us, not so you can come back and look down on us, not so you can come back and be ashamed of us, not so you can run away from us. Once we get into that space where we're like, we are in this, even if you don't like the system and you try to like deal with it as little as possible, you still got to deal with it. Like, unless you're being homeless and walking around butt naked, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you went back to all the way animal nature, I ain't got nothing to say to you. But if you're wearing some clothes and you're wearing some shoes and you're going into a store and buying food, you're going to restaurants, you're spending any money at all that don't got your black people face on it, that means you're playing the game. And I just think we're too accustomed to losing, so we don't even play to win half the time. And I actually had to think about this for myself. Like, I don't like the system, so I've been trying to, you know, figure out how to get this land and get these, you know, these off-grid situations. But I'm like, even how I'm gonna get that without starting where I'm at, right? I used to say, if we're in the belly of the beast, like, unless you know how to teleport, that means you got to get out of it. You got to walk through the gastric juices, you know what I mean? Like, you got to get shit out or thrown up, or you got to cut the side and go through the blood and guts, but you ain't coming out of this thing clean if you already in it. So trying to just like levitate in the middle of the belly so that you're not touching the ground, and don't levitate too high because then you're going to bump into the back. Like, you just got to levitate right in the middle and then point down at people that's walking through it like, I'm better than you.
Yeah, exactly.
We all in the belly. So if we start playing like, hey, yo, I'm in the belly. Let me see. What else did he eat that I can use? You see what I'm saying? What else is in here with me that I can use to get me up out of here? Because I'm not trying to stay in here. I don't want to pull up a couch and get Netflix in the belly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not comfortable in here. I don't want to be comfortable in here. I don't want to Netflix and chill in the guts of the beast. So I'm like, how can I really focus in on the fact that we are in it? Our ancestors got here, however they got here. I know people want to debate whether we was already Americans here, if we came over on a boat, if we flew down from airplanes from the moon. It don't matter. We're here at this point, and we need to take it more seriously about who is it we're supposed to be, what if the whole planet is rocking off of our hip hop, it's people that speak hip hop but don't speak English. That's our culture. It's a global culture. We're global leaders, but we don't take advantage of it. We don't take it seriously enough to actually move the planet with it. Like, what was that? Kamala Harris just had a thing and had Megan Thee Stallion twerking at the presidential convention. I'm like, y'all do too much. Y'all be pandering too hard for the black people with y'all. The hot sauce in the bag and the booty shaking.
But you know what?
Megan.
It's the people who still buy into that. That is the problem. They're always going to be debauchery. They're always going to use our stuff. We know this. But it's the people that are like, okay, yes, massa. I'm gonna help you. Like, no.
Right. It's a sad thing to see, honestly. I get kind of like, oh man, we still falling for that one? Like, dang, that seemed a little obvious. I thought we was a little bit better than that now.
Yeah.
Hey, we falling for the saxophone playing, twerking, as hot sauce carrying, crazy ass people with shades. So,
and that's why I like math, because you can't trick me when I got math. You can't come up and tell me
do it with math.
35. I'm gonna look at you funny, like I'm dumb or you dumb. Like, what you trying to say? You know what I'm saying?
But before we close out, there's one thing I wanted to, Kafunya asked a question on here, and you could keep it short if you want. How does he feel about Terrence Howard's view? As a mathematician, because he has interesting concept and he has the patents to back it. Exactly. He ain't playing with those patents.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is that. So I've been up on Terrence Howard for some years now.
Me too.
I'm not just brand new finding out about him. I've been watching him for some years, and I think he's got some really brilliant ideas. He's done some brilliant things. He's run some them drones that he came up with that he had people like, because he's like, I don't know how to design that, so I'm gonna put a contest out here and y'all design it based off of this concept I came up with, and people did it. So clearly it works. Now the only thing I can't really get with is that 1 + 1.
1 times
1 equals 2. I'm like, somebody need to tell this brother that ain't it, in a way that he could hear it, because it's like, I get what he's trying to say, but that's just not what multiplication is. That's just not what multiplication is. End of the day, you know what I mean? So it's like the way I teach my students to think about multiplication when I'm first introducing the concept, I say multiplication. Don't say like 3 times 4. Say 3 4 times. Because that's what we're saying. Add 3 to itself 4 times. 3 4 times. You see what I'm saying? So it's 3 3 3 3. It's 3 4 times, right? So when you do it like that, one time is 1. It's just that simple to me. It's just that simple. One, because then if not, then 2 times 1 is 3 now. You see what I'm saying? Now that's addition, bro. It's just simple addition.
Now it's becoming addition, right?
Yeah.
He did say it was exaggerated addition. I was like, okay. I got the book, but I was like, okay, I'm reading. I've been got it. 2 years ago, I got that book.
I got the book just so I could try to see what he was saying. And,
he gave it away. He gave it away for free. So it was a free book.
Now, like, this is how I think he's taking it, right? Like, you got 1 this way and 1 this way.
Right. That's what he's.
So that makes a 1-inch square, right? Or 1 inch, 1 foot, whatever. 1 by 1. And he's like, there's 1 this way and there's 1 this way. So that's 2 right there. And I'm like, but that's not multiplication. You added this to this. If we're talking about multiplication, then we're saying what's the total unit that it makes when you do 1 time. And that's only if you're doing it in that square kind of way. And he himself said that we're supposed to be dealing with the curves, not the straight lines. So it's like you gotta pick a side with that one, bro. You can't all of a sudden throw that out with the little straight lines.
Right.
But everything else that he be dropping, bro, he drops some really great science. He gets into the flower of life, and that's what really made me fall in love with math as an adult myself, was studying the sacred geometry, the flower of life, the seed of life. That's why, all of my books, like, I always got some form of sacred geometry on there. The ones you showed, they all have it, and I think that's one of the best ways to get children into it. There was this thing I had with a spirograph. You know what that is? A spirograph. It's a little plastic toy. You put it on.
Yeah.
It makes a little, all the little wonderful little loopy. Yeah. I used to love, I don't know why I love that thing so much, but it fascinated me, just being able to throw in a little triangle inside of a circle and it makes a shape, but then you put in an octagon inside of the circle and makes another shape, and so I just used to love the shapes that was coming out of that. And that's how the universe is built, come to find out, you know what I mean? So and again, that's talking about the relationship, because it's a circle And if I put a triangle inside of a circle, it makes one shape. If I put a square inside of a circle, it makes another shape. Every time you put a different shape in relationship to that circle, you get something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the brother's brilliant. I really do. I'm glad that he took off, you know, kind of stepped away from the acting and start putting his time and energy into this. He definitely has brought some really brilliant concepts. And like you said, he's got patents to back it up.
He got
say what
patents.
you want to say. He got patents, you know what I mean? And they've been using his patents.
And people been using his patent. He's making money still.
They use his patents, mad.
And I tell people, because when he came out with the concept, I said, he's born March 11th. That makes sense for him to see that beyond, because anytime you're born on that 29 or that 11 energy, you see what other people don't see. And that's what make you create what y'all are creating, because you're born on the 29th, which is 11. Y'all see what other people don't see. And that's what I recognize with you and people like Terrence and anyone that has done any type of great work. You can see that they see what people don't see, and they're going to try to make sense out of it. Regardless of what.
That part. Like, we got to make some sense with this, man. Like, what does this mean?
Sense, because these senses are going to make some dollars one day.
That part.
But brother, I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing your wisdom. Everybody, make sure y'all go to Nicholas, Brooklyn on August the 4th, man, from 4 to 7 p.m., man, and support our dear brother over there at the great. I'm likely to do a book release in September, but I want to thank, he's been my graphic artist also, and he helped me out with the last book. So enough respect to you all the time, Joshua, for sharing your love and your expertise from the heart. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you just fell right in and helped me out, man. So after we know Amazon be doing their craziness, but it is what it is. Just little measurement thing. It just was crazy, man. For whole month.
Right. That's important. That's how important that math is. One little
little centimeter threw us right off, man. But have a great time. You're out there in New York, and I hope everybody's well with the family, man. And then give Monique and Kafunya a big old hug for me, of course. And I hope to have you on again, man. Come on and do it again, because you got much more. I got books on Sankofa. I got book. He can talk about all of that. Also, the Fibonacci system. When I read in my book, and I remember reading about Fibonacci, getting it from the Moors and those Africans, learning about math, and then trying to bring it back to pizza. You know, and you know, it's crazy. You know, so we got to know what those sequences. And just looking at the beehive and looking at the turtle back, you see the Fibonacci sequence. We've been studying that in our ancient history for years. So you know, so big up to you, man, for always reminding us.
Right.
It's right there on our body. It's
right there.
It's right there.
Like it's all in our body.
Yeah. It's all there.
Our whole body.
Fibonacci who?
Right. That's why I call it Sankofa, man, because that's
that's what you did. Yeah.
That's exactly why. It's like, why call we're a very functional people, right? Like, we're a very functional people. And so Sankofa tells you what to do. Fibonacci don't tell you nothing. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all having me. This has been a great time. I had a great time with y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thank you, brother. Have a great time, man, out there in New York. All right.
I definitely will. Right. You know how we do.
All right. Peace and love, man. That's right.
Blessing.
Our brother. Yes, sir. Man, that was good. We had a good time with our brother, man. Enough respect to him, man, and what he's doing.
So much respect. Yeah.
He gotta go to Canada. He need to go to Toronto, man. You need to go hit them places, man. That's what he needs.
We need some math.
Yeah.
Dude, no, but math was so challenging for me when I was a child. And you know, just the way I'm learning it now, it just makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And I know others are benefiting from this way of teaching with the rhythm. You know, it's beautiful. So
my mother was watching me the other day. She said, "Why? I can't believe he's been doing math." I used to pass all my math exams and run out the class to go smoke weed. she said he got bored so much he passed all his class, raised his hand, get 98, get all this, and I would walk out. I'm tired. They're not teaching me nothing, Mom. I was in high school in Erasmus Hall. I never forget. And she said she was watching me doing math on my board in the back here, and she kept on saying, "Oh my gosh." She watching me doing that. I said, "Look at my son. He used to just do all that and just run out the class." And then she called me and said, we are though. You know, you used to run out after you finish math. You used to just run away. I said, this time I really love my mission and what I'm doing with these numbers. So she said, yeah. So I was big up to my mother. She might be watching this, knowing her. You know,
big
so
up, mommy.
Mommy, yeah, mom. You know, thank you very much. But this has been fun. This has been fun. I want to thank, of course, Jashua Sarah for coming in and doing what he had to do from his perspective. And big up to Billie Jean in the building, and big up to Monique and everybody, Nikki Love and everybody, Bertha in the building. He is very, very, very good. People, make sure y'all go to his website, support what he's doing, JashuaSarah.com. That's JashuaSarah.com. And remember, you can hit him up and Cash App him, show him some love. Cash App, PayPal is on here. Hit him up on Facebook, Twitter, all under the name Earthiopian. Earthiopian, that's his name. That's what he created, Earthiopian. And make sure you get his spoken word artist books too. He got some great poetry, great poetry books, man. So he's doing great work. And matter of fact, he did it. He came to Nicholas off of somebody else that recognized him and put his face on a flyer as one of the spoken word things. And then when he came to New York, he started working at Nicholas and doing everything he had. So big up to there's a whole story he had behind it. We should ask him all that. But man, how was your silent retreat, girl? Before we get off, it
was so good. Like as I shared with you earlier, I wish it was longer because I'm used to doing 30 days, and the first week is usually just a decompress from just being so tightly wound with all of the noise of this world. So it was very beneficial. I shut off everything. Like I literally unplugged things, all my electrical, like my modem, my TV, my fridge, but the things that would grab my attention all off. I got up, I went to bed at 9 every night. I got up at between 4 and 5 every morning. Hence why I'm so tan. I've been out running, walking, really communing with nature. I cannot stress how important it is, especially in this season that we're in the season of the sun, where the sun is so high. The sun is actually talking to us. It's giving us so much information. It's helping us to heal ourselves, really down to that level to prepare us to go into winter when we're going into hibernation. So it's vital that we really take this time to just suck it up. So I feel grateful that I was able to do that. And then when I came back out, I knew this was it. Like I jumped back into life. I started back at the gym intensely. So, with my daily schedule of what workouts, and I started swimming lessons. So
yeah, I noticed you was how was the swimming lessons? Are you floating like a dolphin yet?
So I started this on Monday. I could not float. Today I can float, y'all.
Float. It's so easy. Yes, floating.
It's not easy. It's easy.
I mean, I picked it up real quick.
Right, but there's a lot of people. There's fear when you're afraid of
people
dying. Like you're not going to relax. It's all about relaxing.
Just relax, man. Once you
get it, so a lot of us have trauma around the water, so it's not as easy for us to relax in the water. Even though I love the water. But it's been. I am loving it. I love my teacher thus far. I love it. I love it. I love it, you guys. And on the 8th, I have my sound healing gathering, which falls on the line 8. If you're in Toronto, I wish everybody could come out to this, but if you're in Toronto, please come out. It is on the 8th in Etobicoke. The address and stuff, it will be posted, or it actually is posted, but it will be on my website. It will be a free event of me giving an offering to you guys of sound healing, energy work, so Reiki energy healing mixed in with the sound healing by the water in nature to help tap into this beautiful vibratory energy that's coming into the planet, and merging with that to help us elevate, heal, and just commune with source. So I'm excited about the 8th, and I look forward to as many of you that can join coming out as well.
Are you going to live stream it?
No.
You want to share it with the world? I thought you were going to share it.
I'm sharing it with people who come in person.
Okay, go. Yes. I suggest do a little quick live stream and then keep it moving.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
You come. I
mean, the people, because Kafunya lives in New York. She asked if you're going to live stream, and she lives in New York. That's why she wants to experience it. Let's see what you're doing, because she does sound bowls too. Matter of fact, she's a sound bowl master.
Oh, really?
Kafunya, but she's in New York.
Come here, or I can come
in New York. Yeah, she's
That's
in New York.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see if I can see if I could.
Don't stress yourself if you don't want to do it, but you could do a quick half an hour and then say everything else is going to be, gone. We're doing it privately, whatever. But, people want to see the energy. You want to feel the energy. That Lionsgate energy is not a joke, although it's already in play and we're gradually about to drop right into it. And, we're going to be right there with the gathering of the masters right around that time, too.
Right.
And that whole, and I'm going to Miami right now. So, later on tonight, heading down to Miami. So get ready to go and do what I got to do out there. And, and now that, this is a good time. We summon him with that flyer. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. But you summoned Jashua Sarah to Nicholas with that flyer. Yeah, y'all did do that. Y'all definitely did that. Before we even knew him, before they even knew Joshua, they put him on a flyer. He found out he was on a flyer in New York because they
That's
took
awesome.
it. It's crazy.
That's the power. That's manifestation right there. That's amazing, you guys.
Big up to Tito. Big up to Tito, the former graphic artist for Nicholas and all that. So, but and I'm glad you're gonna do it. It's gonna be a good energy revival for many people who's gonna go. So make sure if you're in Toronto and you want to do it live, go to her IG. That's Kerryanningram at IG. Make sure you hit her up. And where else?
And my website, kerryanningram.com. Oh. I could show the link because, as I was sharing with you, I worked hard on it.
Right. Oops, what's happening? Oops, I'm trying to find your website. Okay, there it is. Your website is on here, so let me take that off. Scrolling. Yeah, the website is right there on the bottom. kerryanningram.com. kerryanningram.com. Make sure you hit it up, and let's see. Do I have it in here? I thought I had it here. I have your YouTube here. I have your Linktree here. There it is. But Kerry Ann Ingram, very easy name to remember, kerryanningram.com. Make sure y'all go to that. She does distant Reiki and all that. She got jewelry. She got all of that going on over there. Some beautiful work. She's doing her thing, and you're gonna have fun. Yeah, you put your link in the you put your link in the chat. Oh no, what you did? No.
Pardon?
You put the link in the chat, or you put your own link?
Oh, I thought my website was open, but it's not. So I was trying to log in to show, but
okay. But here's a website just in case. You could also book a session through her website right there. You could also book a session. She does tarot. She does distant Reiki. You could also book a session. That's her website, kerryanningram.com. That's kerryanningram.com.
And I'm going to start offering sound healing where I travel to you. So if you're a corporation and you want your team to get in right alignment, I will come to you.
Makes sense. That's good. Good lady. Good lady. You're a nice lady.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That comes from an old movie.
Screen? Because this is live. Yeah.
It ain't come up. It ain't come up yet. Let me see. You share it? Go ahead, share it. Let me see if I can see it.
Where am I here? Share. Thanks, you guys, for dealing with this. My window.
Is it on your Instagram?
On the window to the floor. Okay, here it is.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's your screen.
It's not live yet.
It's a brand new website.
Yeah, a brand new page for this specifically. So see, Thursday, August 8th, 7:30 to 8:30. That's the location.
Mm-hmm.
And then register. So yeah, and then the next, I'm going to be doing 4 offerings after that. Mm-hmm. And cost is $11.11 to help, amplify the vibration. So Yes. This will be live as I get off of this. I didn't realize that I didn't live yet. Yeah, I didn't put it to live. Yeah. So
wonderful. Keep up the great work in Toronto. People are coming. Matter of fact, a lot of people came from Toronto to go to Queen of Fools Ascension in Georgia.
Sorry? You went all muffled.
A lot of people came from Toronto to go to Queen of Fools Ascension last week too. So.
Oh, nice.
She had a big, and Montreal too, because I seen they was all there, but I was watching it online. I didn't feel like dealing with a whole bunch of people, so I stayed away.
Yeah.
But I watching it online and seeing them did beautiful. I got to call Queen. She asked me to call her too. I got to call her. But keep on doing. Get ready, family. But thank you very much, darling. Go and get your rest. That tanning up. It tan up. It tan up
in Canada. To get even darker. I plan to just get dark and yummy.
Yeah, you could have some here. Take some skin.
I'm almost.
All right.
But thank you so much. So
thank you very much for being a part of this journey.
Evening.
You too, my dear. Thank you. That's Kerryanningram. Yes. Woo. Man, so y'all know I'm heading down to Florida, family. So those that's going to be in Florida with us, man, yo. Once again, thank Jashua Sarah for coming on also. Yeah, I'm heading down to Florida. We're going to be at the Forbidden Knowledge Awards ceremony, man. Forbidden Knowledge Awards. We are packed. I think we're damn near sold out. So, woo, there it is. ForbiddenKnowledge.com. Remember, you can still vote. I think you got one more day to vote. 954-245-0086. You can vote more than once. Believe me, you can vote more than once. As long as you skip a day, you can vote more than once with the same email or two other emails or whatever. And those that are coming out to the Gathering of the Masters, if you can't make it out, we got the live stream for you. Live stream is over there right now. Just make sure you go to Eventbrite/E/Gathering of the Masters live stream. Tickets only $88 for both days. That means if you pay $88, you get to come both days. All right. You get to watch it both days. And remember, my big 20-night year in promotion and production, Dick Gregory's tribute, because his birthday is October 12th. But I'm going to have Dr. B Serious speaking. Brother Rich and them is going to be special guests invited to speak. Cosmic Kitchen is going to be there. Mama's Cosmic Kitchen. Blue Pill, Red Pill is going to be there. Rashida Tassili Ma'at is going to do the libation. And then from 2:30 to 5:30, Baba Ashra Kwesi is going to be speaking about the ancient African ancestral salute by Baba Ashra Kwesi and Mera Kwesi in Georgia. We're going to be doing this in Georgia. All right. Just want to make sure everybody knows that. All right. And big up to 11university.com. This is Aquarius Maximus Mom. Nina Dunham. Nina Diamond, she calls herself, or Diamond 8s. That's Diamond 8 YouTube. Hit her up. And how would you like to work from home, family? Would you like a part-time, full-time position from home? You want to make some extra money? Seasonal, you could do it winter, spring, summer, falls. Permanent if you want. Daily, direct deposit, paid training. Create your own schedule if you want. You can create your own schedule, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever you want to do. But you must pass a federal background check. We ain't playing with you. They not playing with you. Alicia and them is not playing with you. Alicia Kayer, she's known. She used to work with Queen of Four, one of Queen of Four's main assistants back in the day. Alicia Kayer. And make sure you text the number. Do not call the number. Text her at 770-861-9906, and she will return your text. That's 770-861-9906. Give her at least 24 hours to 72 hours to return your text. She's been telling me people have been calling her, but she has so many other businesses that she works out of that temple and that house she has. Please text her at 770-861-9906. And please go book a session with this beautiful sister here, the one, the only Nina Dunham. She's going to be vending at the Gathering of the Masters. She's also going to be vending at my event with Dick Gregory. She's also going to be at the awards ceremony. So she's passing through. She's coming through at all of these things. And Lloyd Strayhorn, make sure y'all support Lloyd-Strayhorn.com and hit him up at the 800 number all the time, 581-4401. And If you want a different way of doing cardology, but it's called cartomancy, contact Sister Amira at 518-796-7638. And if you want any good studio work, check out my son and brother Jeff at Green Studio NYC. That's www.greenstudionyc.com. If you want to book a session with me, text me your full name and date of birth, or text me your first name and date of birth, because I have two different sessions now. I got the 15-minute pre-recording and I got the 30-minute conversation with me. So there's two different prices, two different sessions. All right. Get my courses on Udemy right now, Holistic Numerovation, and also get all my books. Joshua Sarah did the graphics for all of these books except one. Except one. He did the graphics for all of these books except Numbers Are Simple, Children's Health is Important. That's what it is. So, and if you want the hardcovers are available now. Hardcover collector's item are available right now. So family, I hope y'all had a beautiful time with Joshua. Again, we want to give them a well-deserved round of applause. We want to thank Joshua and thank y'all for coming to the Healing Vibes show with myself and Kerryanningram. We're doing our work from our perspective. We need more of you to do your work from your perspective. All right. More than likely, I might not come on tomorrow because I'm getting prepared for Florida. But if my spirit leads me to come on, boom, I will be coming on tomorrow again. I've been very consistent for a reason. There's a reason why I've been consistent, because my spirit has been guiding me to break down these numbers on my chalkboard, because I can show you better than I can tell you. I can show you better than I can tell you. That's why I want you to take the courses, take the online courses. I have 8-hour courses and I have 2-hour courses. So if you want to do that, you got to make it happen. And tomorrow is the last day for this special. Special is until August the 1st, Professor Griffin's birthday, Professor, Chuck D's birthday tomorrow, August the 1st. Text me the word special and I will send you the links, but it is only a pre-recorded 11 minutes and 11 seconds. You're allowed 3 simple questions, 3 basic questions to ask within the 11 minutes and 11 seconds. And I tape it for you and I send it to you so you can listen to it over and over again. Although I'd rather you do a full session with me, but if you want that quickie, that 11 minutes and 11 seconds, believe me, you can book that also. We got one more day before the sale is over and the special is done. One more day. So it is what it is. All right. So family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be great, be wonderful, be numerovated. And remember, this has been the Healing Vibes show with myself and Kerryanningram. Take care and we'll talk next time. Peace. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Hey everyone, it's Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge. I am thrilled to introduce to you an extraordinary weekend event happening right here in Miami, Florida on August 3rd and 4th. It's none other than the 2nd annual Forbidden Conscious Awards weekend. After the tremendous success of last year's event with over 1,200 attendees from around the globe, we knew we had to make this year's event even more spectacular. On Saturday, we have a captivating conference lined up featuring world-renowned speakers such as Muhammad Ibrahim, Merkaba 13, Robert Grant, Billy Carson, and a women's panel hosted by Elizabeth Carson. Following the conference, we'll set sail for a VIP yacht cruise at sunset where you'll have the chance to mingle with your favorite nominees and celebrity guests, all hosted by yours truly, Billy Carson. On Sunday, August 4th, kicks off with a Forbidden Knowledge book publishing signing event, followed by the highly anticipated 2nd annual Forbidden Conscious Awards. This is a red carpet affair, so come dressed to impress. Remember, last year we surprised a lucky guest with an Audi A4 during the awards, and this year we're upping the ante with a chance to win a Mercedes-Benz. So make sure you secure your tickets early. This event is sure to sell out quickly. I cannot wait to see each and every one of you there for what promises to be an unforgettable weekend.
Numerovation with King Simon. Text me now at 347-496-1022. You could also take my course if you want to, but do text me for your sessions at 347-496-1022. You could also get my books on Amazon at Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. Remember, you can book your session and get it done right now. 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. King Simon the Numerovator.